people, Deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. As the man Ian Wright said there, Arsenal won, Sporting Lisbon 0, Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal won. And after a tricky test in Portugal, we take a 1-goal lead back to the Emirates, in a week's time. Well, not really a week because we play next Wednesday, but you get the point. Smash the like button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Obviously, I was on TalkSport. I didn't do a watch along. Please smash the like button. I'll get into your comments in a minute. But while the thoughts are fresh in my head in relation to the game, I want to just get them out early before I bring you lot in and whatnot, people. It's a weird one. Was it pretty? No. Is it the performance we necessarily want from our club to make us go, do you know what? While the Champions League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League, 4 competitions, on one hand, are all micro, they're all like micro kind of things to speak about. But the macro is obviously, people, we lost the League Cup final. There's a poor taste in our mouth. A week or two removed from that, we didn't put our best foot forward in the FA Cup for whatever reason, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and it's an added layer. When you look at it from a macro point of view, Arsenal season, I always say we've been nitpicking, and I don't feel it's nitpicking. Attacking play, proactive game management, this is needed from that player, that's needed from Arteta. We've had all of that from last season, and a lot of the issues, a lot of the good, the bad, and the ugly from last season brought it. We did bring in players, and we've had good or bad moments, but it has filtered into this season, and we've been nitpicking, quote unquote, myself included. Now, obviously, we know what we're trying to do where the Premier League is concerned. As I said, the macro of, we're out of 2 competitions. Premier League is 9 points, potentially 12 before City kick a ball. At this moment in time, that's assuming we beat Bournemouth. At this moment in time, it's a 9-point gap that could be shaved to 3 if they beat us and win their game in hand. Now, obviously, the performance wasn't the best today, but it does lay down a marker, in my opinion. Like, draw a line under the sun. Okay, I'm not happy with the FA Cup. Okay, and I think we could have went at least minimum another trip to Wembley. I think we could have put our best foot forward in the League Cup and gave a better account of ourselves. And I don't quite believe it's a line under the sun, because you got to go and perform, obviously, on Saturday and in the return leg where it is only 1-0, and then obviously against City and so on and so forth. So I can't quite say it's a line under the sun, but it kind of lays a line. All right, you've arrested that kind of poor form. Enjoy today, back to business tomorrow. So like I said, it weren't pretty, it weren't pretty, because I'll get into that, yeah. But I do think there was a reaction. I do think there was a desire to win the game. I do think we lived dangerously on occasion. Big up David Raya for his saves. Even when he made a slight mistake, he made a better save. I do feel, as Arsenal fans, obviously, we're anxious. All of the competitions interlap in it. When you look on the macro, if you offered Arsenal 9 points clear on paper without context in August to like the position we are now, a lot of people would have taken it. Champions League, as long as we're in it, give a good account of ourselves, get through to the next round, deal with Barcelona or Atletico when it happens. I mentioned the cups as well, but the momentum, we want to see something different. And I do think you can't get the two interlapped, if I'm completely honest with you, Arsenal fans. What I mean by that is, as I said, the last 2 games were poor. You want to, I know we can't beat them 7-0, but for argument's sake, we beat them 7-0. This player's looking mad. This player's doing that. We're like, oh, all right, cool. We'll allow you lot for them games. We're moving forward. It wasn't quite that. But I think you'd be naive if you just browse Sporting Lisbon and you expected that. And what I mean by that is, they're in this round of the competition. People can talk about favourable draw and all of that. Arsenal fans, we know about upsets in general. We know about doing upsets. We know about upsets happening to us. Everybody who's in the quarterfinals or the knockout stages is in there because they've earned it. It don't matter about names and this, that, and the other. Or Real Madrid probably wouldn't have lost their first leg. So, yeah. And on top of that, I can't lie, the wounds are still fresh when they dumped us out of the Europa League. Obviously, their wounds are still fresher when we beat them at their place last season. Obviously, we've done that again this year, right? But if you look at Sporting, prior to playing us, their home form in the league is immaculate. I think it's 20-odd games without losing at home or something, or unbeaten in general, something like that. They're second in their group. Their manager has been a manager for eight years, and I think he's gone from amateur football to what he's doing now. They haven't reached this stage in a hot minute. The home form's great. They're going to be purring, and I waffle about that to say this. It was a good tactical battle. Whatever you say about Arteta, he's going to set us up. We're not going to get embarrassed. He's going to overthink. Their manager did the same thing. I think both teams gave a good account of themselves. Both teams respected each other where they obviously needed to. I think it was a low-level game, because when we did have shots, it was tame efforts on target, and the same for them. In fact, there was an effort. I think Noni's corner hit the bar. They definitely had an effort with that. I actually think it was a better performance. Like I said, I'm not here to waffle and say it was amazing, but I think Declan Rice with driving forward with the ball, with mopping up defensively, people won't agree, but I actually think the positions, like the starting positions, a lot of the time, and how Calafiori was moving into midfield and how Zubamendi was operating off the ball, was opening up pockets. A lot of people on social media don't agree with me, but I'm not here to say Odegaard was amazing. I actually think Odegaard had a decent game. I think people that say, oh, but he got hooked when he's chasing the game, you really thought he was going to play 90 minutes? In the same way it was predictable today, it was predictable against Southampton. So, yeah, I wouldn't say Ben White and Noni were amazing, but I thought first half a goal might come down their side. I think our midfield was better. You know, Gyökeres, you're doing what you can. I must admit, you don't need to be offside for the Zubamendi effort. That was a good effort, but got chalked off. And big up the impactors, you know. If I had to highlight a couple of players, David Raya stood up to man of the match for me. I've mentioned the midfield. Martinelli, I don't know what it is when you're an impact sub. I don't know what it is with the Champions League. I don't know what it is. Every now and again, you are a big game player, as mad as it is. You remember you're Brazilian. Like, your performance in general off the bench was amazing. Obviously, a bit of skill in the weighted pass. Kai Havertz showed Gyökeres how to stay on side. And you do wonder, you know what? It's a different effort, but you do wonder, you know, that chance that fell to you, Kai Havertz, had you, you know, it's different. But if you scored in the League Cup final, what were we talking about? It's not smash and grab, but it's elements of smash and grab, in my opinion, in that Arsenal fans, we know about conceding in the dying embers of the game. We've seen that a lot of the times this season. So I do think if life was fair, everyone would have a lot less. And a draw would have probably been the fair result. And obviously on TalkSport, me and James were saying that it's like, we're not going to quite take a draw if you offer it to us, but a draw wouldn't be the worst result. You bring it to the Emirates, we do our thing. I think their striker who replaced Gyökeres is suspended for that game. Obviously, we're in the driving seat. We cannot get complacent, people. But I think it was a performance to build on, like to kind of arrest the previous two, and we just keep it moving from there, if I'm completely honest, man. As I said, I think my centre-backs did well, man. I love to see Magalhaes getting into a bit of handbags in the first half with their attackers. I think Saliba was quietly brilliant. I think Ben White looks like he ain't got quite 90 minutes in the tank, but I think he was woeful against Southampton. I personally wanted Mosquera to start right back, so I have to big you up. Noni, I like you. Sometimes you don't quite remember that, you know, the ball can't go, you know, you have to keep it in line with the chalk, but I think you did all right. Better from Trossard. I've been very critical of Trossard in 2026, and I'm not saying these men were amazing. Big up Max Dowman as well for his minutes off the bench. I think he's the youngest player in the knockout stages, and, you know, boring Arsenal who's ruined football and we're anti-football and we're not entertaining. If you do not support my football club and you live in the United Kingdom and you support a British club, we have nice you lot, because now we've confirmed that there's 5 places. Us and City ain't gonna be fighting for that. United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Aston Villa, you lot fight for the 5th spot. Let me know how that goes, but you lot got to thank us, if I'm completely honest, man. And you know what? One thing I give my boys credit for, because I think tactically both teams, it was going to be one of those kind of games with the manager. There weren't too much space. I think they pressed us very well. I think they went man to man, which has become a theme. Obviously, Osman Diamande, a centre half that we've been tracking, he was moving like Ronaldinho with that outside of the football, you know, that had an effort in the first half. And to be fair, like, their use of the fullbacks and trying to take us out of position was quite good. There was times where I thought there was a couple of attacking phases where I think we're still sticking to the script. Could we do something a bit random? And definitely in the Champions League, because I know it's not the same, but Real Madrid, when Declan Rice scored that goal, when he spoke about it, I can't remember if it's the first or the second free kick, but he said he just felt it. The set piece coach saying deliver it into the box. That's what he needed. And there was a moment I thought we might be on the receiving end towards the dying embers of the game. They obviously had a chance where David Raya stood up tall a couple of times, but I did feel towards the end, I'm thinking, oh, are we going to stick or twist? As much as I'm looking at the manager for game management, I'm looking at the players. Are you thinking, you know what, draw thing, we go back, we do this next week, or do we go for it? Sometimes you go for it and you kind of get stung on your ass. And I would say games like that, it's not how life works here, but games like that is what Arteta wants to see. Because there's been times where if we drew, we couldn't have complained. Had we have lost, obviously, all the statistics point to it was an even game. We do the ideal scenario syndrome. If that goal goes in the first half, this happens. That's how I feel like in Arteta's mind. That's how games are going to go, in it. But unfortunately, that's not that. But the main thing is something to build on, isn't it? The main thing is something to build on. I want to see if I missed out any points, people. Yeah, like I've basically said it all, man. I do think at times it was opening up and being slight end to end in the second half. I do think, Noni was getting fouled a lot. I don't understand how their linesman's right next to Gyökeres where he's offside and he hasn't put up his flag, but fair play. I didn't think Kai was offside. I think 0-0 at halftime was a fair result. As I said, I did like Calafiori's starting position a lot of the times. So, yeah, man, we nicked it at the end, didn't it? Low-key affair, we took advantage. We don't travel well statistically to Portugal. We actually have not progressed in the last 8 that many times from the quarterfinals with, an exception of recent history. So, yeah, man, we all know the headlines. If we got beaten up in the League Cup, beaten up, obviously, in the FA Cup, you lose today. While they're 3 different competitions, they all kind of tailor parallels to the Premier League. So now it's just about building momentum, restoring the feel-good factor. And honestly, whatever competition you're playing, whoever is fit, whoever isn't fit, just getting the job done and making sure in May of this year, there is a parade. For me, the Premier League is the most realistic one. Champions League, let's stay in it. Let's book smart. Let's earn the right to win games. I look at Bayern, I'm like, oh, you never know because it's not even confirmed. Real Madrid are out, Barca look decent. We can cope tactically. But now you're getting to that period where you need the manager to kind of go to war with himself when he's planned stuff and we need to pivot away in game. And now you need the players to stand up to be counted. And my subs did that. My starters did that. As I said, I'm not saying it was an amazing performance and everything's amazing because if I'm saying David Raya is our man of the match, which we become accustomed to our defenders, then there's a lot to happen in it. But I'd have rather won today than lost in it. And yeah, so we did that. We enjoyed today. Focuses on Bournemouth because Sporting going into this is an important week or important 2 weeks, really, because you got 2 games against Sporting. You got City. Going into this, you got 2 teams that are in, for Arsenal's sake, nasty run of form. Sporting purring. One prior to that, won every game at their place in the Champions League. Obviously came from behind against Bodo Glint. Bit between their teeth because history isn't kind to us. We've come to their backyard and obviously beat them last year. So it's all going to be there. And then you look at Bournemouth, forgive me if I'm wrong, they're 11 games unbeaten in the Premier League. So that's probably at this moment in time the best form of anyone. Plus, we know about their players and what Bournemouth have been doing as a club. I don't need to tell you about Areola. Yes, we beat Bournemouth earlier in the season, but it weren't easy. We lost to them at the Emirates last season as well. So it is what it is, man. Like we're in that period where every game's a must win. It's the most important. We lose, it goes left, etc., etc., etc. So you won't catch me complaining about today, man. So, but we just need to build on it. It's as simple as that. Man said must be in the studio. Smash the like button if you haven't. He snubbed us. Not even. That was a hard watch, but a win is a win. Don't think that'll be enough versus Barca. So the big games are in the Prem. Need to keep winning to win the league. Any slip up in City are there. Max needs to start, I think you're saying. The thing with Max is physicality, innit? You got to remember, he's not been exposed to playing week in, week out. This is how you get injured. This is how you get fitness and whatnot. On one hand, Max Dowman, we need to protect him. We need to remember he's 16. We need to, install consistency, but he's crossed that parallel where it don't really matter about your age. You're a very good tool in the toolbox. And it's nice to see him get minutes today. It's nice to see him do what he's doing. Had he I don't know, been a 17, 18-year-old where you've kind of been around in the Premier League, you might have started. It was a big test. You got 90 minutes, forgive me if I'm wrong, or close to it against Southampton. This is a quick turnaround. We do have to protect him. As I said, if he was 18, 19 and had a couple years under his belt or been exposed, he would have started today. Let's have it right. 2026, it's really just been Max Dowman and Gyökeres in the final third that have given us anything close, really to what you want to see. And I'm not going to lie, man, I've said this, and this is completely irrelevant to this, but I do think you miss Mikel Merino in periods like this because you need your Bandulu brothers to now. You need all the ugly players, all the random stars like Max Dowman, the ugly players that divide opinion, the Kai Havertzes, the Gyökereses, the Marinos. These men make the difference. As much as it's about playing well, and life's a contradiction, and I'm contradicting myself. We want to see us play better over 90 minutes and whatnot. To a degree, we're in that point. It's just about getting the job done because Sporting deserved a lot more today. Are we going to trade anything with them? No. And we've been on the receiving end of that. So these are the things that happen. These things have bitten us on the arse. They've gone against us. Football's decided in both boxes. We patterned that today. Football's a 90-minute game. We stood up to the occasion. We went to a difficult test in a country that isn't kind to us. We've come back with the 3 points or with the victory. But there's still 90 minutes left in it in this time. Anything can happen. If they go score early doors in the Emirates, I'm sure the Emirates is going to be buzzing a lot more. And this is even beyond the obvious reason. This is why I need to win at Bournemouth car. The home games, we need to make them count. Imagine we lost 3 in the spin in 3 different comps. We all know what the papers, the YouTubers, the tabloids, everything. And rightly so, you know what the sentiment inside the stadium and around the world would have been. Derek, appreciate you. Big up the Australians, man. I was on TalkSport, man. Hit the like button. It does only take a moment, man. I missed you lot equally. A win is a win, but it's another disappointing result for me, winning ugly. I can't get it. Can't be. I get it. Can't be 5 goals every game against the same opposition. But in an attacking sense, we're not just doing it. And you're right. Individually, the attackers are not playing to their full potential. That's probably the major. If you split the team in defense, midfield, and attack, it's the attack stealing a living. And I get you. Definitely, we need to do that in general. It's not even necessarily isolated today. Had we been doing that before and we won today, we would have said, oh, it's an ugly game. You do need an element of winning ugly. As Derek has said, but you do want to see us perform perfectly or a lot better over 90 minutes, which I do think people are being a bit unfair. Like they're taking that and applying it to this, where you can see the Sporting's form, our form, tactics, all of that. It was never going to be that. But then at the same time, you're right. We do need that, and we need that fast. I've come to accept that we're not necessarily going to see that. We're not necessarily going to see great attacking play or any major changes. For me, it's just, all right, we're good defensively. Get back to being a great defensive side. Attackers, who wants to stand up to be counted? I see Gyökeres. I see Max Dowman on a consistent basis in the last period. Kai, I see you today. Martinelli, I see you today. But am I going to get that against Bournemouth? Because we know we've got more clean sheets this season than we had last year, even though I think last season we defended a lot better. It's the attack. This is where I need you lot to rise. And to be fair, indirectly, it's the whole team. But it's Champions League. Got the job done. Defense stood up to be counted. Positive performances always wanted. And when you're losing, I can't quite say it's a rut, but you want to stop the rut. So, yeah, man. Odegaard, wow, the man has serious PTSD from the past 4 years. Unpopular opinion, I'll be real. I think Odegaard was okay today. Like, weren't amazing. I think Odegaard was okay. In the same way, I think he was okay today. He was okay against Southampton. Build on that and let's see something. No one in the midfield and up front is amazing, apart from Martinelli, remembering he's Brazilian, Kai obviously scoring. We love Max, even though there weren't something to really say today. It's our defenders. I think Saliba was quietly brilliant. I think Gabriel was good today. Calafiori, I didn't even know if you would start today. I think you did well. Benjamin White, I think you did your thing. Ryan, man of the match, isn't it? Really? And really and truly, for all the shots and everything, I know a couple chances hit the bar. Ryan made saves but I think it was more of a weird little tactical battle that opened up on occasions. I don't want to quite say it was a low-key affair, but it was a low-key affair. It kind of felt like a Premier League game. And I felt like that against Leverkusen in the first leg. I felt like that today in terms of the low blocks and the teams off the ball and all of that. It weren't really kind of like what we saw in the initial stages in the Champions League, where we were just blitzing teams, seeing good football. The only exception, Bayern Munich, because I don't know. I think Bayern Munich at home, even though we won, I was really impressed with them tactically and impressed with us. And Newcastle away, they're the two games that stick out to me, man. Unks, big up American Gunner, big up DG. Didn't set the world on fire, but we definitely needed a win. There it is. We needed a win. Because what if we played well and we got shagged? Sasha, one love. Evening. Danny, I'm happy we got the win as well. We need to adapt to cup football. In England, yeah, probably. In Europe, the way we kind of play in the Premier League is probably more set up to, like, I don't think we got embarrassed a couple of years ago against Bayern Munich or against PSG or today. Like, we can set up with that. I'm not going to lie. In the champs, I'm more, in the Premier as well, but in the champs, I'm more looking at some individual brilliance because I've seen people win the champs, not necessarily be the best team in the 90 minutes. One attacker said, you know what, there's a chance in the 87 minute, I'm slapping his top bins from 25 yards. We ain't really got that. In the cups, like League Cup, you got to the League Cup final. I'm expecting more like die on your sword type of thing. Definitely with the FA Cup. So yes and no, in my opinion. I can't lie, it's Ethan's time. Odegaard needs to get out of the team and leave, or he could turn into a CDM and take the Norgard role. I'm not going to lie. And you don't know I'm not Odegaard's biggest fan. I wish Eze was fit. I think he leaded the press well. I think he showed himself. I think he tried to split lines. People always, I don't know why, yeah, and I'm not saying you lot are wrong, yeah, but people think, based on what we saw with Sporting set up off the ball and us, Odegaard could just get the ball, dance past people, or like, you need, if you want some, like, anytime you've seen, I'm not comparing him to these guys, yeah, but you know, if any pass that you've ever seen from Lionel Messi, Cesc Fabregas, Mesut Ozil, all of these guys, they can have all the ability, all the talent in the world. The pass needs to be on. When is the pass on? Now, maybe that's deeper questions isolated to today or in general. The pass ain't on. Like, it's genuinely not on. And I'll be real, I think Odegaard, especially I think Odegaard's had two, comparing Odegaard to this season to Odegaard this season, they're probably the two best starts I've seen from you, if I'm honest, against Southampton, which, again, we went out today as well. Other than that, you've looked better when you've come off the bench. Newcastle away, you came off the bench. Leeds, I know it's not the same, but Leeds off the bench. I'm sure there's another game I'm missing out, but it's irrelevant. I feel like Arsenal's attacking threat is the equivalent of someone trying to mug you with a water pistol. There's something for Arteta in it because, and I do think the players have to do better. And, it's not just the manager, it's adapting, but only now is Gyökeres looking like how he would look on YouTube for Sporting. Only now is Eze looking like everything we saw in the Premier League. Obviously, I think we got what we paid for with Noni, if I'm honest. Like, Noni, I like you. It's just goals and assists, and I'm more onto Arteta. You bought him. That's your project. Make it work. Trossard, I've been singing your praises in the first half of the season. I think you've been shit in 2026. Today, he was all right. And you don't know my thoughts. I love Martinelli to bits. I still maintain he's a big game player. Brazilians, my Banduli brother, but when he starts, I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens when Martinelli starts versus when he comes off the bench. Is it the game state? Is he being told, just go and do your thing, don't think about it too much? Do you remember your Brazilian? Is it the theme tune? Because even when Martinelli does that little skill when he drags the ball with both legs, yeah, that's even looking wavy. The ball's looking wavy. You look like you had a difference to me. And I guess that's the annoying on one, obviously, Arteta tactically, because, these players have been at other clubs and done well. The system might be crippling them. And also, I've seen systems with mediocre players, but they get goals. So the system can improve, but also the players, because I don't know if I'm going to get, like, if you break you break down the defense, the midfield and attack. It's the attackers I'm not really looking at. Obviously, I criticize Saka for this season. He has to hold that, but I give him a blind because you've shown it to me for 3 or 4 years. Realistically, I'm looking at a new signing in Gyökeres. I'm hailing up Eze, even though both of them, it's taken a while to get here. Let's be real. A 16-year-old Max Dalman, that's where my faith is. You are genuinely the one on a consistent basis in whatever competition, whatever games you play, that I'm like, yeah, I believe in your thing. I don't know about the rest, man. But yeah, the attack. And this is why, for me, I told you, look, in the summer, as much as I'm happy about Gyökeres and Eze, and even like, I'll get into Zubi. There's stuff that needs to change tactically. Think about it. You look at Zubi even though Zubi's getting more goals now, you look at Zubi for Spain. People always talk about how many times he passes forward. Look at the options. There's 3 passes on for almost every Spain player, but people are questioning, can Zubimendi play a ball? People are getting on to Rice. People have got on to Eze and Gyökeres. People have criticized our wingers. People have criticized our strikers, in which all of them need to stand up to be counted. But if it's all of you, then it's got to be something with the gaffer. In the same way, all of our defenders are wavy. I did want to see Lewis Kelly more minutes, but I knew I was dream chasing with that one. Michael, appreciate you. Smash the likes indeed. Game highlights are so short, it's TikTok length. I swear Arteta must be regretting that Ethan loan. I'm sure he didn't even expect this from Odegaard. But he loaned him out, so you can't be idiot. You had to know this was a thing. Tough watch. But we needed this one. There were a few positive. All eyes on Bournemouth now, and that will not be easy. Maybe because I'm a tactical nerd, but I was vexed. And it just tells you, like, the shit we've been in. I think we were better going forward against Southampton. To an acceptable level, no. Today, I don't think it was the most nerdy. And, I think it was a game for the nerds like myself. I don't think it was entertaining, but they're set up, man. We can't be playing on margins, man. Voice gone. Sometimes the best feelings are generated from a last-minute winner. Arteta subs are on point. You struggled in the game tonight. Liverpool won't beat PSG tomorrow. Struggle is not right. I disagree with that. How did we struggle? If it's an even contest, how did we struggle? This is what I mean by if man watched the game. They definitely had moments where Sporting, we definitely had moments we could have scored. Both teams, it was a quite an even contest. This is what I mean about people projecting historical things about Arsenal this season into that game. Wayne, respectfully, I disagree. The only thing I agree with is it's not to the standard you want to see. But I've said what I kind of discount today. The main thing is you won today. What are we going to see against Bournemouth? Odegaard has turned into Makelele. But then why is Odegaard dropping deep? Why? Logically speaking, why are these attackers dropping deep? Appreciate you, Rob, man. It's good to have our spine back, man. Like, right, I mean, we've played in 3 cups, and I know I'm better than this. I know this is silly, people. But we've had 3 cup games, right? We're still in 1 out of 2. And it's not just about the keeper. But of the 3, Anyone spoke about Kepa positively? And I'm not trying to make this about Kepa because I actually am more critical of the gaffer, really, because Raya made a lot of saves. But why did we move the ball a bit better today, a bit quicker today? Because of Raya. Football's a simple game. You try to go from one end to the other. And we're in that weird kind of dynamic in football now where arguably your striker is your first defender. That's why I talk about pressing and all that. Your goal is your first attacker. Why do we care about if he's got passing ability? Everyone who talks shit on my striker, Kai, stay on that side. Big up DG, big up the chat. Come on, you Gunners. Max drawing fouls like mad. Love the cameo from him. Very good cameo. Look how gas man are over beating Sporting all to get smoked by Barca. You know what guys like you are, yeah? Fair enough, we might get smoked. You just thought it was going to be agendas today. You're vexed, you're sour. At the time of making that, it's 11:15. Go to bed, man. Iron your clothes, man. Go pillow talk, man. Come on, bro. I'm sorry we ruined your evening. But for the pagan fans, 5th place in the champs is confirmed. You lot go do your thing. Not a vintage performance, but this team needed a win. Teams cooked physically. Noni didn't sprint. Trossard calf went. Odegaard's knee went. Odegaard won't get 90 today. Neither was Noni. Rice was blowing after 60 minutes. We're like a cartoon boat with a plaster on. I mean, our players do look spent. That is one thing we could all see. But then I'm therefore criticizing the gaffer, everything around why physically we're not there. But then what team or what players that have played this amount of games and squads, who isn't knackered? Go through the Real Madrid. You can do that with Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico. You can definitely go ask Liverpool players, Arsenal players, City players, and there's definitely question marks over those 3 teams' managers, the tactics, the consistencies. If their fans want to see what they want to see, what player isn't carrying some little knock or niggle at this point in the season? This is exactly the game Mikel likes. That's his favorite way to play. Yeah, because this is very rational. It's an even clash. Bit of brilliance, but unfortunately, this is not how football works. Like, that is not how football works. The main thing is just we won today, innit? Every time Kai scores, Chelsea fans get round. Fuck him, man. Kai is a super sub who says no. I fell asleep in the first half. I think Arojo needs to commit another 10 more fouls to eventually get a yellow. Yeah, he was getting away with murder still. He's getting away with murder. But even that, you can't tell me Sporting were amazing. I think both teams tactically were well. They had good little chances. It was a boxing match. It was heading for the judge's decision. Both teams got tired. We landed the bang in it. It's as simple as that. Raya is just highlighting why he's so pivotal to what we're doing in recent years. I don't get the hate. Hating on Raya is mad. Odegaard losing the ball and it becoming a dangerous counter is becoming a norm. What player hasn't lost the ball and it's become a dangerous counter? Your midfielders and your attackers. That's how football works. Thursday, DG, today result over performance again. A tough European away ground, ultimate smash and grab onto Bournemouth. The difference between Kepa, let's not abuse him, and Raya is literally night and day. Raya is a better keeper in every aspect. And I actually feel sorry to be drawing out Kepa because honestly, he's made the mistake. The 2 goals we conceded against Southampton, they wouldn't be his fault, but it felt a bit Ramsdale-y in that there's several points of failure, but they're shooting from the right, you're diving to the left. Obviously, he's made that mistake against City, and that can make, you could argue, goals change games. That's made or broken the game. But isolated to that, I think it's a cop-out to draw out Kepa. I don't rate you. I know you're media. I know you're known for being a traditional keeper, not necessarily with your feet, and the conditions they're setting up isn't advocating to you. And for me, the simple fact of, all right, cool, let's just assume, if you want to do that Raya was mad shit, he was 2 out of 10. That means to me, there was 10 other players that were amazing, that were 20 million out of 10. So why are we losing 2 games? Both the games today, man of the match is the goalkeeper. Say something. Yep. This Ben White is not the same as he was 23, 24. It's like he's lost a step. Had Ryan not saved us in the first half, it would have been a different game from that shot from the left back Arojo. And that's football because Southampton, Odegaard scores that chance, it might be a different game. Then what happens? He obviously F's up. The League Cup final, it might be a different game. If Kai Havertz / Saka, if I remember, if they're able to bag, they didn't. This is how it goes. And there's obviously been times where we've benefited from that and been done dirty. Today we benefited. Rushed to YouTube to see the celebrations, but you was off doing big boy things. Big up you, lion child. Not even appreciate you, man. You don't rule out Liverpool tomorrow. On paper, I think it could get ugly against Paris Saint-Germain, but can't rule out anyone. DG, I can't take an Odegaard revival in the World Cup suddenly. My thoughts are Eze for attacking intent, Odegaard as a sub to control and avoid chaotic endings. I'm on that as well. Winning anything without a player playing out their skin is painful, huh? How? I can't lie. Give me the wins. I would love to win the Prem, and Odegaard's been this, Saka's been that, Eze's been that. Just get me the Prem, bro. The collective comes first. It comes first. This might be this clearly isn't, unless arguably Gyökeres maintains his form and Max is doing his thing. Of the attacking players, none of this will be your best standout individual season, but it might be your most memorable. Like, honest to God, do you not like if Saka goes wins the league? Do you not think he won't trade the previous 3 years where he's been half decent or anybody else? You'd be selfish and stupid if you don't do that, if I'm honest. Because you're doing this. This is history. This is you lot are with your brothers and whatnot. You've been in the highs, the lows. Bear in mind, as a footballer, like any other work in life, these lot are around each other more than their kids, their gal, their mother, their grandma. And they ain't had no happy moments. They've had some temporary highs, mashing up Real Madrid, beating City 5-1, couple other things like that. But in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing to show for it. And we're at that point now. You are a good team. Manager, you're a good manager. But we shoot ourselves in the foot. You need to get over the line. First opportunity to get over the line is something, you cocked it up. What could have been another, when the chance to be at Wembley and potentially get over the line in the FA Cup, fight that one up. Champions League, you're still in it. Premier League is probably the Arsenal bookies' favourite. Get something over the line. It would have been nice to have my cake and eat it, win a Prem, and as a minimum, but if I was being spoiled, we should be on course for a Premier League and a League Cup. And I should have seen the first League Cup I've ever seen in my life, because the last time we won it in 93, that weren't that. These boys need to get over the line in something so that they can that mental thing is off their shoulders. And then we can start talking about winning multiple things on occasion, picking up this, picking up that. And I mean, we can't go back in time, but this is why, for the way I want the team to go and the realm we're in, this is why I think over the last, I would say 4 years, maybe more, definitely since we won the FA Cup, but these last 4 years, we've been in these conversations. Some put us down. Some said we can do quadruples. Some see us as one of the favourites in the Champions League when you get beyond the PSGs and whatnot. This is why I'm so big on picking up cups. It whets the appetite. You know about getting into these scenarios, but when the case in it, man, I won't hold my breath for any great attacking form. My biggest hope is just we could trust out in the first half of the season. Can we get a purple patch going from someone, man? And this football's a weird game. Like, he was shit against Southampton. You're the hero today, innit? Odegaard was okay, but he had too many opportunities to play 4 passes that he didn't take, which could have led to more chances. True. But then also, if we feel that about Zubi, about Odegaard, about Rice, this new look Rice, about this one, about that one, the players have to take responsibility. The onus is on them. And as I said on TalkSport today, I'm all for praising and criticizing the players, but also Arteta. But I do think, we get into this weird realm where it's all the gaffer, it's not the gaffer, where it is the gaffer, but also the fucking players. You lot are the ones out there, bro. Like, you lot are the ones out there. The onus is on you to take responsibility. Like, you can see with a bit of magic from Martinelli. But then at the same time, they're listening to what the gaffers told them. Like, we're doing everything by the book. It's algebra, left, right. And you don't know me. I'm not against that. I don't think from minute 0 to 9 you can just go gun ho. But for me, when it's time to do that, it's time to do that. And too often than not, we ain't done that this season, innit? We've just kept going. It's almost too logical. When in theory, football is illogical to a degree. Which, again, life's a contradiction. Football mirrors society, which indirectly is life. Football's a contradiction because it's also illogical. There are moments that we love as football fans, you never saw them coming, but also it's about probabilities. How many times, like, even if you want to take it there, if you're a manager, how many times does their left back, statistically over 90 minutes, how many times is the ball played to him, he lets it roll across his body and go forward? If I can see he's done that 20 times in the first half, I can set up against it, for example. It's cup football, so I'm not expecting sexy football. Odegaard wasn't bad today. Slapped the likes. 81 people in there, only 61 likes. With Odegaard, it's the passes he doesn't play that annoys me. Me, myself as well, bro. And even in the second half, there was times like we're working it down the left, working it down the right, and it's on the edge of the area. And I'm not saying do it all the time, but I've seen you years ago. But I've seen you strike from there, Odegaard. I've seen you go for it there. Like, there was a couple times I genuinely thought, Noni as well, like, wrap it, man. Noni can be annoying when he stands the ball up on the right-hand side, beats his man again, and then sometimes he goes for the byline. I just know it's the luck of the draw, man. Odegaard is a type of goggly player. He's really a dictator. I slightly disagree. I'm Odegaard's biggest hater, and he was fine today. Hope he picks up some form because we need it. We need every one of these things. I think we just drove through the centre more often. Big point, great point, went above my head. Yep. teams would get shook. Remember Southampton match, how when Max started driving, it gives us just another facet. All our attacking players performed differently for their national team. We was 1,000% better going forward against Southampton. We was just too reckless in our approach. Just got to win on Saturday. Arsenal not going to win the Champions League. Let's be real. Barca on one side, PSG buying on the other. I don't think we're going to win the chance, but as you're in it, you might as well try a thing, man. Their left back did amazing, man. Mikel is always going to play this way. It is where it is. Not fun to watch. Just got to win the Prem. Simple as that. If he don't, he's got to go. Should have won more, but he didn't. Raya is our player this season. I think Odegaard was cool, man. I don't think he was horrible, Johnny. Horrible shit. I don't think he was amazing. I definitely don't think he was horrible. I think he's had 2 better performances. And it tells you where Odegaard is. You start against Southampton and today, they're 2 of your best games this season, Martin, from when you started. These men are athletes. Everyone is not at 100% fitness levels. The issue with Odegaard today is he lost the ball at bad moments, which put us on the back foot. Fair enough. Sporting had been on a great run. We've been off the back of 3 poor performances. I'll fully take this win. That's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at. That is genuinely where I'm at, man. Big up, DG. Listening to you whilst working. Happy with the win today. Bit sketchy. I'll tell you, sub worked. But this game was important regardless of how we win. We take it. There you have it, man. There you have it. Go back and watch City and Liverpool tower races. Come April and May time, they were just finding a way to win. But our problem is we've kind of done you're right, but our thing is we're kind of done the finding a way to win thing too early. Like, it's kind of been like this all the time, if I'm honest. DG, are we getting closer to being able to say Raya is a world-class goalie? Well, world-class for me is banded around too often. If you say a world-class goalie, to me, I'm thinking prime Neuer, to be fair. Neuer, Courtois, Petr Cech in his day, Van der Sar, insert them kind of keepers there. Do I think Raya is in that standard? No, but in the modern day, you're in my opinion, in the same way I think Saliba and Gabriel are top 5 in their position, and they let me down to this season, but Saka. I think the same about David Raya. I don't know how between you and Garcia, I don't know why you're not the starters for your country or, the Unai Simone, but at the end of the day, football's a funny old game of opinions. Premier champs on the way, DG, don't stress. Yeah, Champions League. I don't know when I'll see my team win that. I don't think we're going to win that. I'd love to be proven wrong now. Just get one over the line first. Bournemouth will be tough and these fellas look knackered. How bad did they want it? I know how much you, me, and everyone in the chat wants it. How much did that man want it? Because at the end of the day, no one cares. No one cares about what they think about your manager, about what they think of you as players, about the fact that you had to, Bournemouth are in great form, Sporting were in good form going into this. How bad do you want it? Yeah, there's injuries. Yeah, the football isn't great. Yeah, we've got plenty of questions for Arteta and tactically. How bad do you want it? You've been finding a way to win and keep this conversation kicking, even though we've had many a setback in the league, in the 2 cups. And generally, we've been all right in the Champions League. Today, we'll take the win for obvious reasons. I was definitely vexed in the first leg against Leverkusen. I was nitpicking against Kairat. So get over the line. No one cares. No one cares. Get it done. Hair transplant has really elevated Raya's game. Did he really get that? He spent a bit more than Gabriel. It ain't been noticeable. Our 10 has to be on the spamming thing around the edge of the box. If he's going to shoot, yeah. But even me, we talk a lot about putting the ball into the box. You see a couple of late runs. 9 times out of 10 is one man in the box. And you've got a team, like a defending team camped. It don't make sense. Like, it does not. Unless you got Didi. I don't know why I'm thinking of Jogba, just because he's so good in the air. Unless you got him, yes, it's probability. You put the ball in the box 10 times. We might, on the 9th occasion, we might grab one. And the other 9 times, we might not. But it's dead. So this is something, Arteta, the players, they got a pattern, man. If we could manage to score in the first half, the players wouldn't have to run like crazy at the end and could manage their fitness more easily. Naive, in my opinion, man. You'd still have to manage the game because there's an element of living dangerously. Think about the League Cup final. We actually started all right. City had to live dangerously. It felt like, we might do them here. But when it's time to throw punches, they threw the punches. Bournemouth is going to be horribly tough. But it's the Premier League. That's what the doctor ordered back in the game. Come on, you Gunners. DG, I don't know. I'm getting Portugal Euro 2016 for us in the Champions League and EPL. Yeah, let's put my Prem in the bag, bro. Put my Prem in the bag, man. DG, rivals were trying to get us shook with Sporting and recent form. All good things come to an end. Bournemouth 3 points. Loaded. Listen, stay humble. Big up yourself, DG. My favorite Arsenal fan on socials. My issue is this football is not sustainable. The slow build up, not mixing it up, shooting from afar, players not breaking lines. Me, I'm on that. I think you're right. But then Arteta could tell me, shut up. What do you mean it's not sustainable? Because it's been working and it's still got us in these conversations, to which I could sit there and say, but it's not got us over the line, and which he could say, shut up again. Because they those two very different conversations. My point is, it's got us here. And I use this broadly for everything we've probably discussed in these 41 minutes and generally about Arsenal. It's got us here. It's got everyone likes to talk about the 2022-23 season for attacking football. I definitely do. Breath of fresh air, amazing stuff. But everyone forgets a lot of games were knife edge. If we were blisteringly good, kill the team in the first half of games, they're Ramsdale saves. So I understand why the manager brought that in. But at the end of the day, you've had 3 seasons. You finished second. Different reasons, can nitpick whatever, but different seasons. Last 2 years, last 3, in fact. 3? No, 2, because we've been in the champs. Well, this will be the 3rd year back in the champs. And obviously there's that. We beat Real Madrid and lost to PSG. And the year before, we didn't get embarrassed, but we went out to Bayern Munich. That's got us here, being competitive. Like, under the banner of being competitive, getting us... people need to stop being silly. Like, bookies' favorite to win the champs and the Prem and all of these kind of conversations. Some are peddled by rivals. They'll push the quadruple agenda and then we're bottling. The most shameless thing I've ever heard is last season, you lot were saying silverware is silverware. You just got to win a cup, especially when everyone else was, you know. And granted, am I disappointed? Before I say this, am I disappointed not to win the League Cup once again for the 55th time today? Yes. Not to go through in the FA Cup? Yes. Would I like to be more bullish about the champs? Yes. Do I think if we had ideal scenario world where we don't drop points against Wolves, against Brentford, hang on for a point against Aston Villa, come on for a point against Liverpool away, get something more against Man United. Definitely one game, unpopular opinion. You can tell me what you want about Sunderland, but 15 minutes away from getting all 3 points. You hold on to that. We're running away with the Prem. But the most shameless thing is you can't say Arsenal need to get over the line in something. And then I've seen this season, I know the media, it is what it is, but just winning the Premier League will be a failure for Arsenal. What kind of bullshit? Huh? You lot have them conversations. If Arsenal only rise up the Prem, bro, I'm celebrating, we're getting drunk, we're doing the most. Don't get it twisted. When we're reviewing the season, plenty of the good, the bad, and the ugly across the Premier League that we need to take, you know, improve and take things to higher heights. We'll review however the Champions League ends, the cup games, etc. You know, chasing the illusion of perfection. But it's shameless with that. You can never tell me Arsenal just winning that. Because if we go back to when you saw Spurs and Newcastle and Liverpool with Slot just come in and all that kind of talking point where we deserve to hold our licks, if you said at that point to rivals, not that I care about that, or to Arsenal fans, Arsenal will only win the Premier League or Arsenal will be 9 points clear and everything else, who's not taking that? Last time I checked, has it not been? There's 22-year-old men and women out there that ain't seen my team win the league. They've seen 1-2 close shaves. So yeah, man. It is what it is, but people are going to be shameless in this life. Yeah, Bayern, I don't think no one can stop them, man. They got the blend of the tactics, the individual quality. Obviously, I say this until Real Madrid come from behind. I'm in awe of how Barcelona... For me, I don't think Arteta is, you know, better than Luis Enrique, for example. But I think Arteta versus Company versus Luis Enrique versus who else? Company... Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick. I think you can set out a game plan. I don't think we'll get bopped. I think there will be whatever. But then them man do something that you don't do, Arteta. They will do their tactics and I want to move left to right, side to side. My attacking star, mavericky players, they've got to do this. But at some point, they'll say, you know, go do your thing. Like, go do your thing. And their individuals will make the difference. They've all found freedom within the framework. You don't know how much I gas up Luis Enrique. Arteta, you don't have that. You don't have the players, of course, like, plenty of them can't talk to anyone, but for the players, I see a good team. I don't see a great team mentality-wise of getting over the line. Individual brilliance, I don't know who's going to bail me out because obviously it's a bit different because I'm sure if you speak to PSG fans, Bayern Munich fans, like I've missed our team, but Barca fans, there's a couple of players across the board doing better. But what do they all have? On top of the obvious and just their attacking players are some of the best players in their position in the world. They're in fucking good form. They can bet on them. You know Kvaratskhelia could do a bad thing. You know Yamal could do something mad. You know Harry Kane, unfortunately, not even unfortunately, don't play for them no more. You know Harry Kane could do something mad. It's not that I don't think Saka can't do something for us. Eze can't do something for us. This one can't do something for us. Martinelli, the champs, maybe, but you man are not playing well enough individually, and you have to answer your own stuff. And also the manager's tactics. I very much doubt around the final third in attacking play. Bayern Munich fans are saying what we're saying about Arteta or about our team, about company and Luis Enrique and Hansi Flick in this one. But as long as we're in the fucking competition, bro, they bleed like us. There can be 99 reasons as to why we can't. All you can do is put your best foot forward, innit? All you can do is go out there, have no regrets. If you lose, you lose. And anything can happen. I don't think Arsenal are going to win the Champions League on some. We're not going to do the Liverpool coming from 3 goals down, or Chelsea against Bayern Munich, or Moscow for Man United, or even flipping 1999. We're not going to do that. We're going to have to be perfect. And we're a long way away from what I would call perfect. Do you think we should sell Kepa and develop Setford and build him up? I think Kepa and Norgard are going to cut anyways, because I think they both reckon a career short, especially if they've won stuff here. I can go be regulars elsewhere. Setford, I think he needs to go get games, bro. I'll be real. I actually rate him so much to some degree that you could be second, third. I don't know about first choice at Arsenal, but you're good with your feet. You're doing your thing. I think you need to be going and playing the professional game. I think you need to go and play the professional game. I think the academy thing's dead. I think you need to go on loan next season. Whether you do is another thing. Bournemouth are definitely going to press us, so hopefully we can draw them in and exploit the space. Asking for sustainability in April is naive. The football's stinky. It is what it is. We just got to back the boys. Fair enough. DG, do you agree with Raya's man of the match? Also, Arteta's post-match comments up yet? We'll go over the post-match tomorrow, man. Today is all about us. Big up yourself, Rob. Yeah, but whatever got you there might not be what is. That's my point. That's my point, my boy. That's got us here. But if we want to reach something we've never reached before, then everybody has to be something that they've never been. Whatever we're good at needs to be taken to other levels. Evident areas of improvement need to be addressed. That's my point. We've only win the Prem. I'm going to celebrate. Bro, nobody could, bro. That's, you know, they could do that. They're going to do that. Do you know how shameless that is? And, you know, some of you Arsenal fans, you need to. I wish we lived in a day and age where we can have a laugh and a joke. We can do the banter thing, but we can also have mature conversations. Clearly, that's a rarity in any sort of football discord, isn't it? But some of you need to accept that. What do you think they're going to say if you win their Prem? You never won it playing nicely. You done it like this. You only done it once. You done this and that. Had we have won the League Cup? It's only the League Cup. The same people that are saying a trophy's a trophy. Whether they're right or wrong, it's hypocritical. The goalposts are always moving. Not even David Raya could save that out. Like, you can't. It's always going to change. It's more about us. For these players, weight lifted off it. And if we win the league, there's no complacency. You'll see a much harsher me. And it's from a place of love. It's one thing getting there. It's another thing staying there. But who cares? Fuck them. If we're all in N5 celebrating, or you lot around the world, who cares what the rivals have to say? They're going to be eating sour grapes. I embrace critical conversations within the fan base that come from genuine support and on serious conversation and debate, but we need to stop validating rivals' talking points. It's never going to happen, man. Company's doing his thing, man. Arteta's got some qualities and skill sets that company and Cole don't have, but same goes for Arteta not having a lot of what they have. The evolution of a manager is different, and hopefully can find it. And if I'm honest, like, you don't know, I rate Arteta highly. I think you're going to win a lot in this game. Whether you're going to do it at Arsenal is your thing. What I care about is I support Arsenal, not Mikel Arteta. You're going to be a manager a lot longer than you manage Arsenal. I don't want you to just do this training thing. We have some good moments. You F off somewhere else. Oh, my God. When I did this at Arsenal in this situation, it didn't work. Let me do the opposite. Obviously, generally, that breeds different results. All right, Dapper, I need to get you on the platform. Big up your TikTok. Elise legit looking like one of the best in the world. Knew he'd be cold after Palace, but not. Today, he was disgusting, bro. Disgusting. Elise, horrible works today. Cooking anything. And to be honest, you know who I like at Real Madrid, even though the last 2 games in the Champions League, you've got caught in possession. I can't pronounce his name. It's like Thiago Patrick or something like that. The young lad, he's sick, man. He is absolutely sick, man. I got time for him, but today the main thing was the 3 points, man. I keep saying 3 points. I keep saying 3 points, people. You know what I mean? The most important thing was to win. So with that, we're all going to go to sleep. And I'll see you lot tomorrow. We'll definitely stream and keep talking about this game and everything else, people. And for people like Rob, don't worry. We'll go over the Mikel Arteta comments tomorrow. We are going to watch. I think I went with PSG Liverpool for the watch along tomorrow. You know, I think I went with that. I want to watch Barcelona Atletico, but I tried to pick what I think you lot wanted, didn't it? Either way, we'll keep an eye on both of them. So yeah, man. To you lot here, make sure you're smashing the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Link up tomorrow. It's nice to win, but it is tomorrow now. So take the positives to another level, the negatives to another level. Sporting's irrelevant now. Focus on Bournemouth. Then focus on obviously the return leg against Sporting. I don't need to tell you a lot about next Sunday. So yeah, on that note, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section after. God bless you all, man. Peace. One love.